Hello and welcome to the Move Your Business Forward podcast. These talks are hosted by Rob Bowl, founder of Evoke Management and CEO of International Leaders UK. He'll be talking with experts from both these companies about issues that affect SME companies today.
So this podcast is an intro to a series of podcasts we're doing focused on the big squeeze. All businesses are currently facing the same issues right now: inflation, supply chain, and recruitment. Over the next 12 weeks, we'll be covering a range of topics and the areas of your business to address these challenges, but also where there could be huge opportunities for any proactive business who correctly positions themselves to take up that opportunity. Today, I'm joined with two colleagues from Evoke Management, Ian and David. They're both regional directors who spend most of their days talking to a whole range of business owners and management teams. Welcome, Ian. Welcome, David. Great to have you here today.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
So you and for me, one of our primary responsibilities within Evoke is that initial touch point with prospect clients to help them identify what their key challenges are and what opportunities there could be. And the first thing I wanted to talk about is why we do what we do. I feel particularly privileged to be able to talk to the range of ambitious entrepreneurs and business leaders that we do on a daily basis, and often being used as that sounding board, giving some advice and input to what can be a very lonely business owner. It is a really nice thing to be able to do. And often when you give them that bit of guidance, that insight, or show actually there's something here that you could do better and make your business better, make your life easier, whatever it is, it's really rewarding. And I wanted to just start off talking a little bit about that. So David, what do you enjoy most about these kind of conversations that you have?
The ability to be able to really understand someone's issues immediately, is something which is challenging and is rewarding. Then I think there's a serial entrepreneur myself. Then over the years, then you gradually start to understand that you're not the only one who's facing the problem, but this might be the first time that you face that problem. And being able to assure people that no, you're not alone. There are answers to this. Then this is the best way to go through it. It's a very valuable thing that we do.
I had a call with someone the other day, and they described everything that they thought was going wrong or frustrating in their business. And I said, "Oh yeah, we see that every day." And he actually looked quite relieved that actually it wasn't just him, and actually these things are fixable. They just need some focus, some attention, and some advice. Ian, what do you enjoy most about these kind of initial conversations and interactions you have with business owners?
It's very similar to what David was saying, and I have to say it's the thing that I probably enjoy the most is that with all the conversations, it's just the openness with the business owner or the founder, and often they just really enjoy having somebody to talk about, and the reassurance. It's like you're saying, it's often it's the first time they've experienced a problem. And that reassurance when you say, actually, I hear that a lot from our clients, and that opens up the conversation, a lot deeper and looking at some of the challenges. And a lot of them, they've got a load of ideas. It's all in their head, a lot of the ideas and the opportunities, and then they're just, well, we know what we want to do. It's just now, how do we get on and do that? What's the next stage? And it's identifying the ones that is the easy wins, really, and then just talking it through. We're not bringing a silver bullet to the meeting. We're actually just sitting down and working it through. And I just love sharing that experience with the business owner, getting a nice plan together, and that sort of reassurance and openness and a good insight into their business. Some great entrepreneurs out there, and they really welcome the opportunity of having somebody to talk to. I used to say to my team when I run the business, it can often be a lonely place in the big chair.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
I mean, I'd add to that as well that often then there isn't anybody else that the owner of the business can really open up to. Then whether it be for politics, whether it be because they don't want to scare anybody by actually being honest about a particular problem within the business, then maybe it's actually somebody within their immediate team that they have a concern about. And being that sounding board, is again an invaluable thing for a business owner.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the kind of the challenges and opportunities that are out there right now. I mean, one of the big frustrations to me when I'm talking to a business for the first time, they've often coming to talk to me because they could do with some help, or they want to talk about a particular challenge. And often you think, do you know what, if you came to us or came to me 6 months ago, there'd be so much more opportunity to help in a more easy way. The people often leave it too late to have those conversations. And one of the key things I mentioned at the beginning of this, inflation, every price is going up, every cost is going up, the cost of staff, the cost of supplies, all these issues around supply chain, everything is having an impact. And I think one of the key things all the businesses need to understand at the moment is what is going on, the detail of the numbers, the detail of the profit margin, everything around that within the business. And Ian, you've run some big successful car dealership franchises, and that's what you spent your time looking at, right? The numbers, especially all the targets and month to month, year to year, seasonal trends. I mean, what do you think is the key thing there for businesses to be looking at right now?
It's interesting you say that, Rob, and the thing that is just the need to be on top of the numbers and the detail of the numbers is paramount. It's more important than ever. I mean, in the business I was running, it was collectively a £50 million turnover business. But if we got to 1% return on sales, we'd done well. Industry standard is between 0 or less return on sales to 5 or 6%, and that's a very, very well run business in the right place with the right people and the right franchises. So it does give you a real good grounding to be all over your numbers. And talking to business owners right now, the sort of cash flow, the need to be closer to their numbers, understanding their numbers a lot more, and what areas of the business they can. We were successful because we had a lot of synergies, a sort of back of house or cross-functional savings, and that's an area that businesses are looking at the moment. How can I continue to deliver the quality of service or the quality of product or innovation that we're so successful with, but and take out some cost in my business, or look at how I can work. It's an old cliche: work smarter, not harder. With your numbers, it's about looking deeper, not scanning on the numbers really. And that's where we, sort of our finance directors, we've got some very experienced people on the team, and it's been great to have that level of expertise that we can put into businesses.
And the big thing there is just being able to make informed decisions, right? I think I've seen a number of companies where costs go up. Okay, we'll put our price up a little bit, and it's like you need to actually make decisions on the facts and also predict the fact that things are probably going to go up more. There might be even more of a squeeze on your margin. You've got to build that in, and you've got to keep on having the opportunity to make an impact on that and making decisions. Hey, David, what's your thoughts? I mean, there is some big challenges here, and we'll come on to opportunities. But in terms of handling the challenges right now, what would be your top tips for any business right now?
Without a doubt, then it's an old cliche, which is cash is king. But what I find that so many people are not understanding is the difference between profit margins and cash in the bank. Then as the squeeze gets worse, then more and more people are delaying payment out to people. That is a vicious circle in itself. That has a direct impact on the cash that's actually into the business. And the number of times that I speak to businesses will say, well, things are still good, the order books are still full, then we're still busy servicing our clients, but we're bouncing off the overdraft limit. Then from where we haven't forecast when the cash is coming. And having that proper forecasted plan, then and understanding when those hiccups are going to come and how they're going to be avoided is absolutely imperative. Yep. It doesn't take very many months of no cash before you have no business.
Yeah. And I think people have got to realize that there's no point in carrying on with a big order book because you run out of cash, you're dead, you stop. And I think the key thing is making sure you're thinking, how can I renegotiate my terms better? How can I get more upfront cash? How can I make sure I got the cash before I need to pay it out the door? And I've seen, talking to a couple of people in the build sector, often it's a big delay to get paid. And I've had some really busy, successful building companies just go, well, yeah, we'll do the project, but you got to pay us up front. And people go, yeah, okay. And it's like, well, it's such a simple thing to change. Get the money up front, and you take all the cash issues out of the equation. And when you get that cash, protect your profit, protect your margin. Put it aside. That's not being spent because it's ours, and make sure you're managing it, in a way that makes sense. Any other before we come into the opportunities, any other challenges you think right now you would kind of give some advice to a business on?
Yeah, the other thing I enjoyed talking around entrepreneurial business owners is that when things are tough, the entrepreneur will see that as opportunity.
Yeah.
Often, and it's the time when they're really looking at how they can make a difference, what they can, where the opportunity lie. And the conversations I have with a lot of our clients is, this is what we want to do, and it's now how we fund what we want to do. Where do we go with that? How do we do that funding? What bit is the next stage in? And as you say, the cash flow is king, but it's just then what do I need to do? What's it going to cost me? This is what good looks like, and it's that financial part.
I think the other thing is it's not, I often think, we talk a lot about funding through cash, but I think at the moment it's also funding it through the passion and the enthusiasm of everyone else in the business, right? Absolutely. If you want to get something done, if we want to get through a particular challenging period and come out the other side, educate the team on what's going on, get them behind you in your plan. The entrepreneurial spirit of, there's opportunities here. We need to make some quick decisions and get the business in a stronger position, but let's get onto those opportunities and really come out of this stronger. You've got to get your whole team behind you, and you've got to educate them on why this is important and the things that they can do to play their part, right? It's all about improving things and thinking, how do we do this in a way that's going to be better for the current circumstances, for the position we're in.
I'd say it's really important to understand that we're in this paradox at the moment that businesses are being squeezed, and yet we have the lowest level of unemployment that the country's seen in a very long period of time. So if you don't keep your people on side, then they're feeling part of the team, then they'll be very quick to jump to another opportunity that might actually pay a bit more money. So it is so important to have that plan with your people and make sure that everybody's on the same page.
So talking about opportunities, and one of those key opportunities is attracting and retaining the best staff, right? And I think there will be people that have not been proactive and are struggling, and will probably struggle to keep staff and pay staff. There's people there that will come available. I often talk to businesses about recruitment and the fact that you should never really be just recruiting when you need someone. If you think about a growing business, you should always have your eyes open for someone that you could bring into the business and is going to give value and a return from that kind of investment in that person because of what they bring to the table. And I think this is a wonderful opportunity to keep your eyes open and looking for people that may be unhappy in their role, maybe in the wrong role, maybe thinking this business just has not got a proactive plan to keep going. There's those opportunities. What other kind of opportunities, Ian, do you think there are out there at the moment for businesses?
In terms of retaining staff, or
anything with these challenges? Anything you particularly think?
Yeah, I think it's times like this when you have to sort of really reevaluate your product offering and look at other opportunities. There are people that are struggling with supply chain issues. That there's an opportunity. People that are struggling with staff retention, staff recruitment, staff performance, there's another issue. Markets opening up, people coming out of marketplace, competitors going away or downsizing, there's an opportunity there for the business. And I think with all these things, it's the sort of service sector where service and support sector is a good opportunity as well.
David, any thoughts on opportunities right now?
Yeah, so to me, it comes back to reevaluating the value proposition. Then and that works twofold. Then one for retaining or attracting, the best people. But also from working with your clients and with your prospects. Then, despite the doom and gloom that's somewhat exacerbated by our media that Armageddon has already struck us, then the reality is that life still carries on.
Yeah.
And bad things have happened before. And there are always opportunities for those who are most agile then in how they deal with those issues. I was only reading something this morning around pricing. Well, how easy is it to undercut somebody else? Then okay, so we'll reduce our prices by 10%. Look at that, then we'll fill our order books. Then, but how much is that damaging the proposition that you have in the first place?
Yep.
Then what you need to prove is that you're the best. And people will continue to want to work with the best people and to buy the best products and services. And people understand that they come with a price. And so understanding what that is, then working through your forecasts to see. So let's actually look at what happens. If we start to increase our pricing, how does that affect the volumes that we're selling? Then where is the point which we should be aiming for? Because actually, perhaps an increase in price by 15% and a drop in customers by 5% actually creates more margin, more cash.
Yeah.
So it's going back, looking at that proposition, looking at the way that the market perceive you, then again, both from an employee and from a client point of view, then and having that resolute plan then out for at least the next 12 months, probably 24 months.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I think, as you say, it's just keeping your eyes open. And with inflation's happened before. Prices have been squeezed before. It's just being on top of understanding where you sit in the equation, putting your prices up appropriately, trying to cut your margin, renegotiating with suppliers. I mean, the big positive here is with the supply chain issues. If you've got a strong supply chain and good relationship, you can keep putting your price up knowing that you're the only one that can actually deliver. There's no point in having a load of orders cheaply where, one, you're struggling to fulfill the order, either because of supply chain or you just haven't got the staff, and doing it at a loss. You've got to really make sure you're on top of these margins and making sure you've got the right ability to make a profit, because that's what every business is there for, to make a profit ultimately. And Ian mentioned about looking at your product service mix. What are the most profitable bits? Which are the unprofitable bits? How do you change them? Do you take them out of the equation? Do you turn them to be profitable somehow? These are all the things to be looking at. Just to wrap this.
Just add in there as well that positivity breeds positivity, and negativity likewise.
Yeah.
Without becoming too political, if we look at what's just happened, with our new prime minister, then you have one candidate then who wants everybody to understand how bad things might be, then and how we all need to scrimp and save, and that way things will be better in 5 years' time. And another one who's going, stuff 5 years' time, then we need to make things better tomorrow. And though you can argue both sides, then the reality is that we have a new prime minister who's more interested in tomorrow than they are in 5 years' time. So businesses need to adapt to that and to make the most of that opportunity.
And I think that there's going to be things coming out, right, to support businesses, to support people. I mean, one of the big things we haven't talked about, which has come up in a few conversations over the last few weeks, is as a business owner, if you're doing well for your business, you're paying yourself well, the personal impact of all these price increases, energy bills, cost isn't necessarily an impact, but everyone's got people on the payroll that are going to have a challenge. And what should you be doing about that as a business owner? And I think that's something that there's a case by case in terms of business by business, but I know that's going to be on a lot of kind of lonely business owners' minds. Are my staff okay with this? Do I need to be proactive, or should I be waiting for them to come to me about pay rises, increases? I think that's a big challenge that's probably on a lot of people's minds right now, which always happy to talk to people about those. not necessarily that we've got all the answers, but, you know, by collectively talking about these things and coming up with a plan and scenario, yeah, there's solutions there. Just to wrap up, any final comments from you, Ian, about just thinking about, you know, this is about the big squeeze challenges and opportunities. Any particular thing you want to put out there for anyone listening to this?
Yeah, I think the important thing is that if you look after your customers and retain your clients and customers through the tough times, they stick with you a lot longer.
Yeah.
And it's really important, more than ever now, is to look after the people you've got and the clients you've got.
Yeah.
You know, people now, particularly younger generations, when they're making a decision to join a company, it's not just how much more money will I earn. It's what's their ESG, what's their sort of welfare, their environmental, how they're going to look after me, how will they treat me. It's not just about money. With customers, it will still be the same, the 3 Ps: people, price, product. If the product's right, or the service, the price will go up. That's life. We're all expecting that. And the people delivering that product or service, you know, if the price and the product's right, but they don't like the person, they won't continue to deal with you.
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that, really, in my mind.
Cool. Thanks, Ian. David, any final comments?
The world's not actually stopped turning. Then you know, then we're all still here, at least most of us. You know, then the country has seen recessions before. The world has seen worse situations than we're in at the moment.
Yep.
Then go back to that value proposition, both for your people and for your clients. Make sure that you're the top of the pile, and you'll come out of this then in as good a place as you were before it started.
Great. Well, thank you both. I really enjoyed talking today, and hopefully some people listening to this will enjoy it as well, and potentially get in touch and have a proper conversation with us. So thank you, and we'll speak again soon.
Thanks for listening. If you'd like more information about the topics discussed in this podcast, then you can find us on our website at moveyourbusinessforward.com.